I wasn't on my baby shower, like I was. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So as promised, I'm doing a pregnancy update. I did write some notes because from the one from my first trimester, I don't feel like I was prepared at all in that video. I was a bit all over the place. So I do have some notes. Excuse me if I'm a bit out of breath. So I'm going to be doing a quick pregnancy update. Today I had my maternity shoot, so I just thought, since I've got my makeup done and everything and looking like a human being, let me just use this opportunity to jump in front of the camera and film. Because if I don't film today, if I'm honest, if I don't film today, I don't know when I will. So yeah, so I'm currently just over 34 weeks. So I'm in my third trimester, so I'll just stand up, give you a quick bump. Update. Yep, so I'm gonna start this video from 13 weeks, just kind of my experience and things that I found helpful during pregnancy, things that have helped me like practically, and yeah, I hope you enjoy. So from week 13, I was not one of those people that, you know, the sickness just stops. You know, they say once you get to the second trimester, the sickness kind of dies down and you get that energy. That wasn't me. I personally wasn't fatigued in my first trimester. If at all I was weak, it was probably because I was so sick, but it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was anything to do with fatigue or tiredness. It was just like I just didn't have energy because I'm using all of it to vomit. So the second trimester comes and I didn't feel that burst of energy that they say you get. I was still really like sick and nauseous and vomiting probably up until about 19-20 weeks. I would say when I like completely had stopped vomiting, that was probably about 21 weeks. But yeah, so from week 13 I started to get something called round ligament pain, and it was actually quite painful. And I don't know, I was a bit concerned about it because again, like I just don't know what, you just don't really know what to expect in pregnancy because people don't really speak about these things. So I spoke to a friend and a midwife and they just said it's just normal because your hormones are releasing something called, I think, relaxin, so your joints are just kind of like, I don't know, more flexible, so it can cause like a kind of like pain in your groin area. So I noticed that if I'd get out of bed too quickly or like lift my leg, it would like really be quite kind of painful in my groin area. But I found that doing stretches helped. I'll actually put workout videos that and stretching videos that I found really helpful, which I found really helpful for first, second and third trimester, that I definitely recommend. I noticed whenever I would work out or do my stretches, it relieved the pain drastically. I probably only had the round ligament pains for about a week or so, and then I noticed in my third trimester it did kind of come back really kind of briefly. But again, once you stretch and stuff, for me anyway, I found that quite helpful. I also around week 13 started to get really bad acid reflux. It was actually quite horrible, so it constantly felt like I had food lodged in my chest. It was just so horrible. That was probably most of the reason why I was vomiting as well, because I just couldn't keep anything down. It just was constantly having food stuck in my chest. I tried not to use Gaviscon for a long time, but eventually I gave in. And you know, my midwife says it's safe because it doesn't go into your bloodstream. It just sits on, it's just to sit in the lining of your stomach to break down the acidity which causes the reflux. So Gaviscon, I literally live by that right now. Even my heartburn now has come back in my third trimester and I literally have to take it every night before bed. It is a lifesaver for me. What other things that helped specifically with my acid reflux and not necessarily the heartburn was drinking things like sparkling water and like a non-alcoholic beer, basically anything that's kind of really fizzy that would make me burp, because I found like if I'm really like doing like huge belches, sorry I know it's a bit disgusting, but it really did kind of help clear what feels like a congestion in like the chest and throat. I just can't describe it. I've just never experienced that before. It genuinely feels like a tennis ball is stuck in your chest throughout most of the, that's how bad mine was anyway. It was just not nice. So yeah, so backaches, I started to get backaches from around week 20, and stretching again helped that, and getting massages. So I definitely would recommend pregnancy massages. There's an app that I use called Urban Massage, and what you do is you can book it and they'll come straight to your home and do the massage for you. They've got masseuse that are specific to pregnancy, so you can just make sure to select that option. And honestly, I definitely recommend having a pregnancy massage at least once a month. My husband will also help in kind of like rubbing my lower back, which I found really helpful. And then when I got to the end of my second trimester, I started using the yoga balls, or the pregnancy balls, which is literally just this big ball that you just sit and bounce on. And I just found that it helped my posture, which decreased the frequency of my backaches a lot. So I definitely would recommend a yoga ball. I also had my gender reveal when I was about 24 weeks. So we did it as a surprise for my husband's birthday, because basically with the whole COVID situation, they're not allowing spouses or birthing partners into any of the scans. Luckily for Ali and I, he could, before the whole kind of lockdown started, we had early scans, so he was able to see the heartbeat and the baby at both 7 and 9 weeks. So I'm happy he had those moments where he got to like see the baby. But then obviously when it was time to go for the 12-week scan, that's when the whole kind of COVID situation was like in full effect. So there were so many restrictions, so he couldn't come in for the 12 or 20-week scan, and I knew he was like really upset about that. So I'm so grateful that the sonographers I had for both scans allowed me to record and take pictures so I can share with him after. But at the 20-week scan, the midwife or sonographer asked if I wanted to know the gender, and I just kind of explained to her that, you know, that's something I wanted to find out with my husband. So she just wrote it down on a piece of paper for me, and then we gave that paper to my sister and brother-in-law. And Ali had the impression that we would find out at our baby shower or something like that, but I had already decided and planned with my sister and my brother-in-law to surprise Ali. So on his birthday, we called some of his close friends and some of our family to the park near ours, and had a gender reveal in the park. I'll try to insert some clips from that day.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So having a baby girl, personally I just knew that it was a girl. I think in the beginning when I found out I was pregnant, I kept saying it was a boy, even though I really knew and wanted it to be a girl. But I felt like by telling myself it was a boy, that if it then ended up not being a girl, I'd be like, yeah, that's fine. Not that I would have obviously been happy either or. I'm grateful to be having a child, boy or girl, but I think deep down I just knew and really wanted a girl. So I was telling Ali, like, I think it's a girl, and he was like, no, I keep dreaming of a boy. And then yeah, the gender reveal, you see me like jumping up and down like a mad woman the moment that obviously it was revealed that we're having a girl. but I'm just so happy. Like, I'm just so happy I'm having a little girl, and I know Ali's gonna be such a great dad. He just seems like a girl dad anyway, and I'm just so happy for him, and we're just so excited to be bringing her into the world by the grace of God. But yeah, so any cravings? I do have some cravings. Like, I'll just say it's like cherries. Like, I just always want cold fruit, and yeah, mainly cherries and mangoes. So yummy. And I just have this obsession with washing up detergent, washing up liquid fairy, where I just want to like sniff it and eat it. But you know, we thank God for grace. I'm just being honest. Apparently it's called something like, I don't think it's because of a deficiency. There's something that they say you crave to eat weird things when you have a deficiency. But if I'm honest, I've had an obsession with foam and soap since I was like a little girl, so it stopped for ages. And I did think, I hope this does not come back when I'm pregnant, and lo and behold it did. But yeah, so I'm just gonna quickly move on to must-have. So things that I definitely would recommend in pregnancy, things that have really helped me. The first is a pregnancy devotional. I will link the one that I have below in the description bar, and it's really good because it's a weekly one as well. So each week that you reach in your pregnancy, you start a new devotion, and what I love about it is that it's based on what development you're in. So for example, week 6 is where the heartbeat is detected, so you know, it's telling you like the kind of practical and scientific attributes that are taking place within your baby, but at the same time it's allowing you to pray on it. So for example, week 6 the heart is developing, you know, we pray that their heart will develop perfectly, and also that they will have a heart for God. So stuff like that. And I just found it really good, especially because it's weekly as well. So I just look forward to every week praying and reading this devotional and praying over her. It is really good. I definitely recommend the devotional I use. I'll link that below. Another must-have is a pregnancy pillow. I got one from, I would say, about 15-16 weeks, and it wasn't to support my bump, because if I'm honest, I didn't really have much of a bump, I would say, until I was about 20+ weeks. But what I found it helped was, for some reason, like in between my legs would be, and I think that's to do with the round ligament pain as well, would be really kind of achy. So before I got the pregnancy pillow, I'll just sleep with an actual pillow in between my legs. So I found that when I got the pregnancy pillow, it just supported my back, because the one I've got is like, it's got like a gap. Oops, sorry. So it's like, it's round here and it's got a gap in between it where you kind of lie down, and then a back support, so that you don't, it kind of prevents you from rolling over. But I found that using that from about 15-16 weeks helped support kind of my round ligament pains. And also as my belly, my bump grew, it just, like, I've had the best sleep in pregnancy. Like, I'm so grateful. Like, my sleep has not been disturbed. I'm just, honestly, like, I'm so comfortable. I do think mine has a lot to do with my pillow. I got mine from John Lewis, and it actually doubles up as a feeding or nursing pillow as well. So when you give birth, you can just kind of turn it around and use it to nurse. So I will also link the one that I got from John Lewis in the description bar below. So definitely get a pregnancy pillow. I think I mentioned it before, but also a yoga ball. I'll definitely recommend it. I started using mine, I think, if not week 29, then it would have been week 30. But honestly, I wish I'd started using it sooner, because for me, I found that it really helped my posture and just kind of support just kind of the way I'm seated. So it would force me to kind of sit a bit straight, and I found that helped, again, manage back pains and stuff. So if you could get it, probably, I don't know what when it's recommended to start using from, but me personally, I probably would have started using it from about week 24 or so. So I definitely recommend a pregnancy ball, and also pure coconut oil. Did get like a pregnancy cream from I think a brand called Mamiya. I can't remember, but it was okay. But I just found that by using coconut oil, I mean, the cream that I got is apparently all 100% natural and everything and vegan, blah blah blah, but I found when I got the coconut oil, it just, I don't know, it just works for me. Some people probably wouldn't recommend you use coconut oil. I know a lot of people mix like shea butter with and they buy collagen and other things they can make at home, but for me, I found coconut oil really helped, especially with like the itchiness on my stomach as my belly was growing. And also I would rub it around my nipples, because sometimes they'd get really like, sorry if this is TMI, but this is a pregnancy video, so if it's doing your head, you can exit. But yeah, for me, I found like rubbing it on my nipples really helped soothe kind of itchiness, because obviously like your skin is stretching because like things are growing. So I found that just by using that, it would kind of like really soothe it, and obviously it smells really nice as well. So definitely for me, I recommend coconut oil. And yeah, I mean, so far I don't have stretch marks on my belly. I do have some on like my hips. It's not a lot, but I do think the oils helped manage. Again, I know that you could be like 39 weeks pregnant and then boom at 40 with no stretch marks, and then you hit 40 weeks and then stretch marks everywhere. But for now, I'm like nearly 35 weeks and I don't really have like a lot of stretch marks, if that makes sense. Like, yeah. But also Havaianas, so I recommend, these are the only slippers that I wear. I wore them on my baby shower. Like I'll actually insert clips from my baby shower. I actually had it the Saturday just gone. It was just such an amazing day. It was so beautiful, it was so intimate. It was just a day filled with love, laughter, tears, and just God. It was amazing.
Beautiful.
But yeah, I wore them on my baby shower. Like my feet cannot fit into any of my heels, and it's weird because it's like they're not like super swollen, but it's just like they just don't fit into my shoes. And I found that when I would wear my sandals, I don't know if because of the way the sandals are made and my back posture, like I'll walk around, go shopping, and by the time I get home, like my back is gone. And one of my friends, she suggested I think you should get a pair of Havaianas. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, but anyway, got a pair of Havaianas, and honestly I haven't looked back since. Just nice cute black pair. They go with any and everything, and they're so comfortable, and I just love them. I definitely recommend, especially if you are pregnant throughout the summer, like heavily pregnant like myself. Yeah, I would definitely recommend that you get Havaianas. Like it's just easy flip-flops, and they're comfortable, and I feel like it helped support my back a lot when I was standing. So wearing them compared to like when I would wear sandals or shoes, my back would be gone. But wearing the Havaianas, honestly, I noticed a dramatic decrease in like my back pains after like a long day out of shopping or something and then coming back home. And also, I can't remember what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something, but anyway, hopefully it comes back. But yeah, another thing that I would recommend is asking questions. So I'm literally asking my mum questions all the time, my friends who have kids questions all the time, because I feel like you can never know too much, and it's always good to like have somebody who's gone before you that can advise you. And it's just been really helpful for me to just kind of sit and just learn from other people and what to expect. There's so many things that I didn't know about pregnancy, or even like post-pregnancy, that I've only found out through asking people. Like, this sounds so stupid, but I genuinely didn't know like after you give birth you bleed like for like a good 2 weeks. So when my friend was like, so make sure you pack like the maternity pads, and I was like, for what? She was like, you bleed. I was like, what? I thought you just give birth and then that's it, and then, you know, it's all, you know, good again. And she was like, no, like you literally are bleeding for like a good maybe like 7 to 10 days. I don't know, some people less, but I had no idea. So if I wasn't speaking, I guess maybe in like my later appointments to come with my midwife, that would have probably been brought up, but I genuinely had no idea that was a thing. So there's just so many questions that I'm asking, and there's just so much information I'm getting in. And I definitely would recommend that you ask questions. Like, no man is an island. And yeah, like just ask loads of questions, especially my mum. Like, she's probably tired of me, like I'm always asking her questions all the time. But yeah, so I'm just excited. I'm so excited. I had my maternity shoot today, so I'll insert some kind of like recordings that Ali took in the studio. It was just so amazing. We had hours with Amanda, I can't remember her surname, but I'll again link her, I'll put her details below in my description box. She was absolutely amazing, so professional. Yeah, I remembered what I was going to say. So another thing I'll definitely recommend, especially if you have had an experience, because I know with pregnancy it can carry so many anxieties anyway, whether it is your first or your 5th pregnancy. For me personally, this isn't my first pregnancy. I had shared in my first trimester recap video that I had unfortunately experienced recurrent miscarriage. So around the whole area of pregnancy was always kind of filled with anxiety. So especially when I got pregnant with my daughter, it was just kind of really like, oh my gosh, like it was such a surprise first of all. So I feel like that added to the anxiety, because in my mind I wasn't mentally prepared for pregnancy. So it was just, oops, sorry. So it was just really kind of, I was so like, my anxiety was like on 100. So luckily, like for me, thank God, I do counselling. Like, my therapist is absolutely amazing. So I definitely would recommend some type of counselling if you can. My therapist is a Christian as well, so it's not Christian therapy, it's just I have a therapist who happens to be a Christian. So when I do bring like faith into my sessions, it's really good, because obviously she can listen to my feelings as a Christian, and she's absolutely just amazing. So I definitely would recommend having some type of counselling, because it can be really hard and lonely, especially if you are having a pregnancy after loss. It's really quite difficult mentally, because you just don't know what to expect, and you know, there's the fear factor. you know. And but God has been so faithful, and God has been so good, and I'm so grateful for counselling. That has just been such a huge blessing. So I definitely would recommend therapy as a must-have, along with doing things practically to like manage your emotional and mental health, and you know, self-care. So even if that means, you know, unfollowing pages that might not be helpful to where you're at in your pregnancy, maybe if it speaks about loss a lot. I know some people do find it quite helpful, but with me, I found some posts like it was like, even though it would say trigger warning, like reading it can be really discouraging, because it's like, oh my gosh, you just don't want to see anything that will fill you with more fear or anxiety. So I found it really helpful to just kind of like mute accounts or even unfollow. Nothing personal, it's just a way of me protecting my emotional and mental health throughout pregnancy. So I would definitely recommend that. I mean, even if you haven't experienced loss, but for me, I did find that quite helpful. And yeah, I'm, like I said, nearly 35 weeks now, and honestly, pregnancy has just been such an amazing and miraculous journey. Actually, I didn't really enjoy the first 20 weeks because I was so sick, but honestly, it's all been worth it. I just love how my body has changed to accommodate my daughter, and it's just such a blessing to be able to carry this gift. Yes, I hope you found my pregnancy update video helpful. I hope, honestly, I'm sure there's things that I've missed, even though I've written things down. Is everything. I think I've covered my second trimester and must-haves and a bit of update. Yeah, leggings and stretchy dresses I definitely recommend. I cannot remember the last time I bought jeans. I actually haven't bought any maternity clothes at all, because I just wear these like loads of like stretchy dresses and leggings or cycling shorts. Yeah, so now I'm in the middle or the start of packing my hospital bag, which is really exciting. Yeah. Sorry if I'm just kind of like all over the place, but I'm just really, yeah, I'm just a bit overwhelmed. I'm just so excited. It just feels so surreal. So yeah, that is my 34-week pregnancy update, or nearly 35. Yeah, that is my pregnancy update and recap of my second trimester. I hope you enjoyed it. I will be releasing this video after we've given birth to our beautiful baby girl, by the grace of God. I have had a few people, like my friends, who are obviously aware of my pregnancy, like be honest and be like, oh, how comes you're not sharing? So for those of you who might watch this and think, oh, why did Deborah not share her pregnancy? For me personally, I just, like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I just have found that I really enjoy my privacy, and what I've learned over the last few years is that privacy is not secrecy, and not everybody is entitled to knowing what is going on in one's personal life. And I just feel like, for me, something as fragile and as beautiful as pregnancy, I would just prefer to share intimately this journey with my close family and friends. And so I think that's just the main reason. And I think culture does play a huge part in it. Like, culturally, it's just something that I guess most Nigerians can agree on. It's just not something that we do. Like, it's just, and again, there's nothing wrong with if you choose to journey your pregnancy or announce it. I'm not here to like tell you that you shouldn't do that, but culturally, that's something that Nigerians are they just don't really do. So I think my culture plays a part in it as well. But yeah, I just feel like pregnancy is just such a beautiful and intimate journey, and I just love the fact that I've been able to share this journey privately with, not secretly, but privately with my close family and friends, and it's just been amazing. And when she is here, by the grace of God, we will probably share that when we choose to announce it on whatever platform. But as it is now, the only people that really know are just literally close family and friends, and we're happy with it being that way, to be honest. Yeah, so that's just to answer the why, Zach. Yeah, but anyway, I'll see you guys in my next video. Take care. I love you guys. Bye.